So, all right, have and have not fans. Now, this is an interesting, not a theory. I think this is a good. This should be labeled as a discussion video. And you know the drill. If you haven't done so already, take a moment to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content. Now, I have to ask the question. Well, actually, I'm sorry about that. Not ask the question, but let me just say that the question of will David get revenge on Veronica? That question has been given to me over the past couple weeks since the finale. And to be honest, I really haven't thought about it too much because I've been more concerned about who's dead, who's alive, what's going to happen based off the trailer in the next episode and things like that. I feel that David is definitely going to go through a state of depression first. I don't know if it's going to be like, oh, woe is me. This is going to last like the rest of 2018. And then in 2019, that's when I'm going to get that bitch. I don't know. I just feel that everybody has their breaking point. And David reached his when he pimp slapped Veronica. But then he went through moments of remorse, regret of what he did to Veronica. But then when things seem to be lighthearted and chipper, and Tyler Perry still is inexcusable for giving us a lighthearted scene. David and Erica smiling. It's sunny outside. You got the water fountain in the front. Hell, if that background music wasn't so upbeat, I think there would have been birds chirping and squirrels running around the yard. Those two get to the car. He opens the door. Boom! It goes off and there's death. I feel that. Remember how Veronica was poking fun at David over the death of Maggie Day? And that's when they were followed because Veronica was like, oh, you do something to me. You see that car behind us? Yeah, that's right, David. I'm having us follow. In case something happens to me, I got witnesses. And then David pulled over and dragged her out of the car. Imagine that, but to a greater extent, because unlike Maggie and David, Erica and David said I love you, and then they had sex more than once, obviously, and they were living together. I feel that David is definitely going to be depressed because the episode synopsis for what is that? Was it the black dress? I think it was the black dress. It said that while being rushed to the hospital, David learns Erica's fate. I feel like that's going to happen in the next episode instead of the black dress, because you know how the episode synopsis for one episode is actually what should have been the synopsis for the week before. But yeah, basically we know David is alive. He's going to be rushed to the hospital. Like, I'm not getting into great detail over it. I don't know if he's going to be banged up. I don't know if he's going to be in a wheelchair. I've already done a bunch of videos on that, which are on the channel. I feel like David is definitely going to lose his shit. And I mentioned that in my other video, the episode synopsis for Three's a Crowd, where I say that Catherine, I feel like during the back half of this season, I feel like Tyler Perry is really going to show us the worst sides of the characters who we've seen been calm, cool, and collected for most of the series. Like for people like Jeffrey, Catherine, David, and possibly Hannah. Characters who have had their moments where they snapped on people. But I'm talking about these characters who have reached their breaking point. Like, they're all in an emotional state. Catherine for having her son arrested. And she's going to have a face-to-face confrontation with Candace. Jeffrey, due to the fact that he's getting sick of Justin just stalking him and threatening him. And also, he might be distraught over the whole situation where his dad is in the hospital. And the girl that was making him happy is dead because of his mother. Jeffrey's probably going to lose his shit soon too. And Hannah, given the fact that the girl she was taking care of, or at least watching over briefly, allegedly killed herself by jumping off of the roof. And then we find out that Benny got out of jail, which is good because that lifted stress off her shoulders. But then you have Veronica wanting revenge and Candace and Thug over, and she's trying to get happy with Derek. I just feel that all of these calm, cool, and collected characters are going to lose it. And then on top of David, him slapping Veronica and then feeling remorse. I feel like that, how, here's my thing. Remember how Melissa was really a victim for most of the series? You know, like we saw her being victimized, you know, physically and verbally abused by Veronica. And then Jeffrey wasn't treating her no better in terms of, you know, treating her like a person. And then after the car wreck, we saw this brand new Melissa. We just saw this this vixen, this seductress, this outspoken version of her. I feel that the same thing is going to happen with David. I feel like the David that we saw up until this point, aside from like the pimp slap, the calm, cool, collected, slow to anger, the patient, the loving David, I feel like he died in that explosion. And then we're going to see a brand new David when he gets out of the hospital. Just like I feel like the old Melissa died in the car wreck, even though she didn't die. I mean, she crawled out of the car. I feel like that Melissa died, the one we saw up until that point in that cliffhanger. I think she died, and we got a brand new Melissa in the season premiere. And the same thing with David. I feel like David died when he got knocked back by the car explosion, and I feel like we're going to see a brand new David. That's my theory on that. But basically, folks, I feel that if David really is a brand new person and he comes out of that hospital like never before, Veronica better watch out. You're probably wondering, Jeremy, look at everything Veronica's done up to this point. What does she have to look out for? It's always the quiet ones. Remember that. I feel that when it comes down to it, you know, Catherine, David, Hannah, those are the people that if you push them too far, and Jeffrey included, Jeffrey is just another case. Now, I think I need to do another video about him because the fact that he's the son of David and Veronica, my God. But basically, I feel like David is going to be brand new. I really hope that Jim goes to see David. I know he's probably in the middle of some mess right now due to the fact that Catherine put Wyatt in jail. But even so, I feel like if the news breaks and Jim gets a hold of the news that David is in the hospital, I feel like he's going to drop everything and go see David. And remember that after saying, I had to pimp slap that bitch, Jim was like, you know, he was laughing like everybody was, but also saying that, you know, she's going to come back at you harder than ever, right? I feel like, you know, Jim warned David, and David, well, let his guard down because, you know, to be honest, given the fact that he was remorseful but then happy, that doesn't mean you should let your guard down knowing, sorry about this, I'm actually getting a phone call. I apologize. But basically, I'm actually thinking that David is going to go through the motions and lash out at Veronica. And you might think that Veronica is going to be more threatening and everything. But at the same time, you have to know that David could actually catch her by surprise. When you think, like when Catherine whipped out that gun on Jennifer. When Jeffrey took that wine bottle and cracked it upside Quincy's head. All of those are cases where a person is being overpowered, but then they use the element of surprise and shock to catch somebody off guard and take advantage of the situation. Like Veronica, that was one of the few times she looked like she was scared to death after Catherine shot Jennifer Salison. So I feel like the same thing would happen with David. I want to know what the hell David would do. I mean, he will be like the freaking Incredible Hulk. I want to know what will happen. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that David will try to get revenge on Veronica? Do you think that Veronica will actually be killed by David? I don't know. I feel like David is going to be a brand new person when he gets out of the hospital. That's what I think. I mean, if he isn't, like, I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, but I really think that, look, you need to man up and take care of this woman because she will just constantly come after you and any other woman that you try to be with. So that's just my thoughts on that. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will talk to you soon.